Hello guys, in this video I'm going to showcase you and explain quite a few reasons why your data analytics dashboard solutions are making you money or why you are not yet a data driven company. I'm going to showcase you all. I'm going to showcase you also the reasons and how you can avoid that. I'm not going to go too much in depth, so let's just go into it because we have quite a lot of things to cover as you can see it, right? Let me just put my glasses on so I can see a little bit better. Now, why should you trust me? Basically, we here at Stella we drove way over 10 million plus in cash collected profits for organizations just by using and transforming their data and their company into the data driven company and their data into the actionable insights, so they're able to scale, grow, decrease their churn, increase their retention, increase their profits, and so on and forth, right? We also create multiple custom analytical dashboard solutions, ecosystems, implement multiple tools inside of the companies so they're able to scale and turn their data into the actionable insights, right? Now, of course, I can showcase you some of the solutions that we build like this one, and of course like this one, and there's quite a few ones that we built which I will showcase you, and you can also check in the later videos down the line. Now, also, let's just go into it because we have quite a few of them. So basically, data silos, right? This is one of the things that is probably stopping you becoming a data-driven company, right? Your data is scattered around. Basically, it's in multiple systems. Imagine like your data is in multiple softwares, like in spreadsheets that you're probably already using, right? And you just cannot access it. You either need to spend more than 10 minutes to find that data, but 99% of the organizations or you watching this, you have to spend way more than 10 minutes to find that data, right? And even if you're just spending 10 minutes, that's still a lot, right? Because you should be having your data, your most important data, like finance, sales, delivery, marketing, product operations, logistics, supply chain, and so on, basically depending on what industry you are in, accessible in literally with one click, right? Your goal should be just open a dashboard, custom analytical solution, and see the data, right? It doesn't matter in what format, but you should be able to access it in a second, right? Like this. That means you need to have a centralized view, and basically the data silos is stopping you, and they're looking basically like this. Basically, your marketing data is in one software, and then you have like subcategories of that specific data silos. Let's say under marketing, you have your paid advertisement, you have your content marketing, you have so many other SEO, etc., right? That you need to access and see on a day-to-day basis, and not just you, but also your CMO, like your marketing leaders and other marketing users. They need to access the data so they're able to make better data-driven decisions. But especially you as a CEO to see where your ship, aka a cockpit, you're able to see your cockpit because you're steering a ship at your business to see if you are growing in the right direction and and if there are so many mistakes or any mistakes or pitfalls that are might come in your way, right? And basically, if you are cannot see that, and your leaders, your managers cannot see the data, so they're able to make data-driven decisions, you have a big problem to have. Even if you, and majority of the companies need at least a day to come up with surface level metrics to find, which is not ideal because you're going to get out competed. Relying on spreadsheets, I already told you that basically in the first, under the data silos, spreadsheets, of course, they're never gonna die out. I'm not trying to replace them. They are an amazing tool, but you simply cannot become a data-driven company with just relying on spreadsheets. That's so super inefficient. You're gonna get out competed. It's wasting you tons of time, money. You cannot see bottlenecks. You cannot see insights because you don't have centralized view. You're spending at least 20 plus hours manually trying to aggregate the data from all sources, calculating it, and then only to make analysis, not even a data-driven decision, but analysis. So basically spending all of this time just to try to find the data, which is of course not ideal. It's losing you money. Off-the-shelf solutions, right? Now this comes around because there's on the market multiple off-the-shelf solutions that are like plug and play dashboards and so on, or some databases that are plug and play. They market themselves like a plug and play solution, which simply doesn't work. Why doesn't work? Because data simply, I think I'll try to write this down. Data won't only works if it's custom to your goals, needs, and priorities at any stage of the company's growth, right? Basically that. Literally, because of that, it's not gonna work. I'm literally gonna zoom this out. like this. This is a rule which is simply, it's like gold. Like imagine like a rule that's 100% correct, like a law. That is it, right? And the data simply won't work. And basically not just data, but basically any solution that you try to build, it won't work, right? Because it has to be aligning with your goals, plus it has to adapt with your goals, right? So if you're using off-the-shelf solutions, I'm guaranteeing you, you're probably using it for very small time, meaning maybe a couple of weeks, maybe months, and you're already seeing some stuff that are missing. You don't know if data is even accurate. You don't even know how the data is calculated. You cannot use custom metric. You cannot use custom features. You cannot use correct data visualization techniques. You can already adapt it to your goals, needs, and priorities. It's not adaptable, right? If you want to change something, you cannot really change it. It's 99% of them are just terrible because they lack so many features that you really want, because they have to be custom. You don't simply use them. Maybe you use them one time a week, or maybe that's basically it, or once a month, and you use them just because you don't have any other solutions right in place, and that's simply not gonna work, right? You're gonna see that yourself. 99% of our clients that come, they either be using some of the off-the-shelf solution, or they tried it in the past and they just tried it, use it for a couple of weeks, and then just stop using it, right? So just stop using this, because this is a very short-term solution, right? Now the third step, basically not return on investment oriented, meaning you're not establishing 80-20% rule. Meaning in data means that 80% is strategy and 20% is data and business, right? Which 99% of the business, aka data folks, miss, because they think that everything is about data modeling, Python, but you as a business owner, you don't care about that, and you should care about that. Everything about data is about business and aligning business with data, aka data with business, meaning matching that and filling that gap, right? That's why you need to build aka custom analytical dashboard solutions, aligning your custom goals, needs, and priorities of overall of the company, and of course aligning those goals and needs of each department level, aka unit that you're building, not just overall of the company, but also department level. What do I mean by that? I mean you need to conduct stakeholders interviews, or how will I say it, end of user interviews, and users, right? Meaning your, let's say you have, let's say like this. Let me just I'll draw like this. This is your, and this is, let's say, CEO, right? This is a CEO, like a leadership. Now this is your executives. This is your departments, or the department, right, and so on, right? And of course you need to build it for each single unit, right? It goes like this in hierarchy, and you need to build it for every single unit, and of course it goes down and down, because each department has, let's say, managers and users and so on, like front-end employees, etc. And of course these departments report to the CEO, aka executives, and so on, right? You have, let's say, in the sales department, you have sales leaders, sales managers. They report to the VP of sales, which is the main guy in the sales department, which reports then to the CRO, aka CEO. And every single one has to use data to be able to drive the company's growth, right? So that's how you conducted that, to align it with the custom goals, needs, and priorities. Okay, to drive ROI, you need to apply 80-20 rule, like a prioritize strategy, and use actionable insights. And how you're gonna show that is by stakeholder interviews, like interviewing them, and users, like every single user in the department, unit, of course, CEO, executives, and so on, and even investors. No iterative approach. If you're thinking that the data analytical dashboards and so on are just one-off solutions, you're basically are never going to become a data-driven company. Basically, they have to be maintained and custom and adaptable, because the business changes every second and every minute. That's why the solution has to be adaptable. That's why you need to constantly collect feedback from the end user, and constantly apply it to drive new updates, new insights, new metrics, new recommendations, and new features as well, right? So they align to the business needs, because business goals, needs, and priorities are going to constantly change. That's why you need to align it. And even if they're not changing, you need to constantly try to improve the solution, not just to be stagnated, because it's simply not going to work, because then you are basically using an off-the-shelf solution at the end, right? That's why the power is in the custom analytical solutions, dashboards, etc., and so on, right? Because it's aligning your goals, needs, and priorities at any stage of the company, right? And that's also because your business processes changes as well. Remember this rule which I mentioned before. no clear KPI ownership, meaning basically nobody knows which KPI he's assigned. Okay, let's say you're a VP of sales, and you should be assigned to, let's say, new pipeline or new sales or new revenue, etc., so on, or let's say book meetings, etc. Somebody has to be assigned and responsible that specific metric. If it's not, there is no real accountability, no real alignment to the overall business goals, right? It was all over the place. Then there is no data dictionary, catalog, or simple data contract. But basically, what does that mean? Basically, let's say data dictionary, everybody inside of the company has to know how the each metric is calculated, formulated, which from what sources is it getting, and who is looking and who is responsible for that specific KPI, metric, or feature, right? That's because 99% of the misalignments happen due the not establishing executive alignment, meaning you don't agree on how the metric or feature is calculated or created and so on, or segmented, etc., right? That's why whenever somebody comes to the meeting, they come with one figure and the other executive comes with the same metric but with the different calculations, and it comes misalignment and they think that the data is inaccurate, but in reality it's not. This also establishes clear culture and organized data, aka organized data management. So everybody who has a question how everything is calculated, you can just look at the document which is attached to your custom analytical dashboards and so on and solutions, and they're able to see it as well. If some is well in your technical department or so, they're able as well to see it if they're going to be using that specific data in any other solution, right? Data contract is just simply how the data, raw data, is used in what solutions, right? So you're able to see, okay, this metric is used in this custom analytical dashboard and so on, right? No actionable insight, right? If you're not utilizing correct framework to utilize actionable insights, you're basically not tracking, aka correct metrics, which are gonna be providing you with the growth of the company, right? And this is not ideal because the goal that you want to achieve is insights and not metric. Metric, it doesn't really tell you a lot, but insight will tell you what to act and what to fix. If you don't know what to do, you can check my previous video which I go in depth how to use actionable insight framework, which I'm going to attach that down below, to get correct metrics and features that will drive business growth that are not surface level, right? Basically just means asking correct business questions, asking why, um, asking what monitoring looks like, meaning what is a good metric, what is bad metric, meaning like, okay, if our close rate is 25%, is that good or bad, and so on, and what actions are you going to take after you find out that reason. If you cannot find and articulate any answer based on that last question, you simply remove that because that's a surface level metric. That's like a simplified framework to use. You can check out the video which I'm going to link down below. Correct data architecture, if you're just starting, correct data architecture is necessary to be able to have a custom analytical dashboards and so on, to be able to have a unified view. For starting, you can just use basically you need to use data sources to extract the data. Of course, the data quality has to be seamless inside of the data sources. Use ETL either off the shelf or custom to extract the data, transform it, and load it inside of the data lake or data warehouse, which stores the data and it's ready for data modeling. Right, for the visualizations, you can use Looker, Power BI, Tableau, or Click. These are business intelligence tools to visualize your data, to be able to present the data and make data-driven decisions and gain actionable insights. DBT and Airflow are like very crucial as well. DBT for data modeling is gonna make your job 10 times more easier and as well more scalable for future needs. And Airflow is just orchestration tool which will basically just tell you how if the machine, okay, the data architecture is working or not, simply, right? If every single process is working and so on. You can use these solutions if you're just starting out. These are basic solutions which are basically going to cost you close to zero. Okay, if you have less data, is basically going to be zero. No champion users. These are the roles in the units in the department who have access to the more granular data in that specific platform or tool that they want to use. This is going to make sure they don't wait for any other provider to input the data in specific custom analytical dashboards, and they're going to be able to use data in seconds and also provide it to the other team members if they want. Which is going to just enable the adoption much more easier, and is going to enable to find new custom metrics, new custom insights to input in the custom analytical solutions, dashboards, and so on. Right? It's basically they're going to be able to have access to every single data they care in such a granular, in the most granular level. Right? These are mainly like managers, product managers, and so on. Right? Of course, the what platform they want to have is either a business intelligence platform or maybe even Google Sheets or spreadsheets. Basically, that's basically just to increase adoption at the start of implementation of custom analytical dashboards. No maintenance if you're not maintaining the solutions. I think that's very clear. That's 100% needs to be in place. If you're not doing that, it's simply not going to work. No data quality monitoring. Basically, you need to set up correct processes flows either in the ETLs, data warehouses, or lakes in your data platform, or even using orchestration tools like Airflow tools and set correct criteria to whenever certain parameters hit. That means that the data quality drops or is incorrect. You will get notified, right? To make sure that data quality is always at the top. And of course, at the end, I will also recommend is always growing. This is not one-time thing. Your data analytic initiatives like data maturity is all constantly evolving, right? So this is just a quick video. Hope you like it. If you have any questions or you want to develop a custom analytical dashboards solutions, and you don't want to go through hassle turning your raw data into actionable insights that drive revenue, you can book a call with our exploration team. See you.